professional dancer, but one day I was crossing the street and I was hit by a taxi cab, and that put an end to my dance career. That's when I switched to music. After I was hit by the taxi cab and I couldn't dance anymore, I was climbing the wall trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. So to cheer me up, my parents took me on a trip to Europe, and there we went to see a show for tourists, and in it there was a guy playing a saw. And that was the first time since the accident that I actually felt excited about anything other than dance. So I actually went backstage and I asked that saw player that I saw there if he would teach me, and he said no. You know, I offered to pay him for a lesson, of course. He said no. He said, go home, pick up a saw, any saw, you know, like from a hardware store, and imitate what you've seen me do and figure it out on your own. Today, after having done a lot of research about the musical saw, I know that the guy that I saw in Europe playing, who refused to teach me, he wasn't just brushing me off, but actually this is the old-time tradition of this instrument. You see somebody performing, you get inspired, you go home, you pick up a saw, you imitate what you've seen me do, you try to figure it out on your own. If you succeed, it means you are meant to be a saw player. Play any saw. You can go to Home Depot and any of the hand saws play. You bring me any saw, I'll play it. But there are saws made especially for music, and those are usually longer. Their metal is more pliable. They're made of a better type of metal, so it vibrates more and therefore it's more resonant. This particular saw, as you can see, it has no teeth, but that has nothing to do with the music. One time I was playing at Times Square and an undercover police lady gave me a ticket because she said that the teeth of the saw, that's a weapon, and I can't have it in a public space. There is sheet music for the musical saw. It looks exactly the same as sheet music for like a singer or a flute or whatever. You do learn the placement of the notes on the blade, and there's no sense in like marking points on the blade for the particular notes, because as I'm playing, it changes, yeah, because it shifts ever so slightly and then it shifts the placement of the note. So as you're playing, you have to constantly tune and retune, you have to really listen to yourself. New Yorkers are probably, out of all the countries that I've played at, New Yorkers are the funnest to play for, because they really are very warm. And I mean, yeah, of course, you're always going to get somebody who doesn't like you. You're always going to get people who just walk by and don't pay any attention to you, but that's to be expected. I really don't expect everybody to like what I do, or everybody to pay attention to me, and it's quite fine with me if they just walk on. When you play on the legitimate stage, people pay in order to come and hear music, so they're already in the frame of mind for listening to a concert. So it's a lot easier. I mean, they're going to applaud no matter what, out of respect, out of politeness. But to play in the subway or on the street, you have to be so good that people would stop, even though they're in a hurry to get someplace. And essentially, you're giving your music out for free. So for people to want to give, to pay for something that they could get for free, you have to really touch their heart. As long as I have good health, I definitely see myself continuing to play in the subway for the rest of my life. I mean, I can totally see myself being 80 years old. Maybe I would have to hire somebody to help me bring my gear with me back to the subway then. But yeah, like I said, it's addictive. I never want to give it up.